First round of the NHL Draft in the books, and it was led off by the Buffalo Sabres, who 3 years ago went with a blue liner with the first overall choice and do so again on Friday. Back then, it was Rasmus Dahlin. This time, Owen Power out of Michigan. The 6'6" sweet skating defenseman played for the Canadian team at the World Championships, a team that won gold. He averaged about 24 minutes of ice time, made an impression on that Canadian coaching staff, and certainly with his full body of work made an impression on the Buffalo Sabres, who tabbed him first overall. As a matter of fact, 3 of the top 5 picks went to Michigan. That included Kent Johnson for the Blue Jackets at 5 overall. The Jackets also tabbed Cole Sillinger, the 12th overall pick, whose father Mike played in the NHL. And Sillinger said, "Good bet, 50% chance I'll get drafted by a team that my father played for." The reason? His dad played for a dozen teams in the NHL, and oh, by the way, the Columbus Blue Jackets were one of them. Let's bring in former NHLer and CBS hockey analyst Alan May. And Alan, we talk about Power, who's 6'6", talk about the skating, and he plays above his age range. What do you like about this pick for the Buffalo Sabres at tops overall?
Well, there's nothing not to like about him. Everything about him, the skating ability, whether it's straight ahead, forwards, backwards, his agility, mobility, in all aspects of the game. He can play defensively. He's a quick learner, quick study, was phenomenal with the Chicago Steel in the United States Hockey League. And then he went to Michigan and dominated there. So he seems up to the task wherever he's at. And when you can skate, you can play the game forever. Big time work ethic. And he resembles a lot of, many of the tall players, the bigger players in the league. And, the most excellent tall defenseman, a bigger defenseman in the league is Victor Hedman. Yep. And he's done a great job at honing his game over the years in the last 2 Stanley Cup wins. So I'm sure that they're all over and hoping that, they can resurrect that franchise a lot like Tampa did back when they drafted Stamkos and then Hedman and built their way to Stanley Cup contender, maybe the most dominant team in the last 5 seasons. Yeah,
so his college teammate Matthew Beniers goes number 2 overall to the Seattle Kraken, their first-round pick in franchise history. What do you like about his game?
Well, just a work ethic, highly talented player, high skill that doesn't get enough attention because his work ethic is off the charts. And that's one of the things, people say he's just a hard worker, but you take a kid with a motor like that has the skating ability, the puck handling ability that he has, and the shot. And the guy has a nose for the net, just an incredible offensive player. But the work ethic is the thing that stands out with him the most. And it often overshadows the skill set. So, they're very fortunate to get a player like this to be their first-round draft pick.
Hey, Alan, a great storyline from the NHL Draft. The Hughes family, the Devils tab Luke number 4 overall, so he'll play with his brother Jack, who was once the first overall pick. Of course, his other brother Quinn is a 7th overall choice of the Canucks. If you're the parents of those Hughes boys, how you feeling on this night?
Well, how absolutely amazing is that? All those kids are top 5 picks. And you look at it, the skill set, the skating, both the dad was a hockey player, an accomplished hockey player, the mom, a phenomenal skater herself. And these 3 young guys can really skate, and there's something to behold in all 3 of them, that think that one family could produce players like this and all be such excellent skaters. You look at it, and Luke is going to be the biggest one of the bunch. He's probably not done growing yet, and it may end up being 6'2" or 6'3", but the work ethic is there, the knowledge of the game. Their dad's very schooled in the game of hockey and has worked for different NHL organizations, now represents players with Pat Brisson, and there's just a lot of great hockey in that family. And those are 3 rink rats, and the New Jersey Devils are definitely going to prosper. And, I just keep waiting for them to take off with the young skill that they have. And as soon as that meshes, this team is going to take off, and those 2 Hughes brothers will be a big part of it.
Yeah, they've had a lot of picks at the top of the draft in recent years. You peruse that first round that's in the books. How about your biggest winner on day 1?
I think Steve Yzerman and Simon Edvinsson. He's a player that could have easily went first overall. I think Power had it locked up, but to me, he's the second best defenseman, or maybe even the best one. The skating ability is off the charts, and he knows how to play the game. A big-time player and just continues to improve. They have him listed it tonight in the draft at 6'4", but a lot of people are saying he's about 6'5". But he knows how to move the puck. He's got a great shot from the point. It gets through to the net through all the traffic and just continues to improve. So that's another player that's going to have a long career. And Steve Yzerman got lucky, in my opinion, to get him that far down the line. Even though 6 isn't that far, I remember when Seth Jones, who was traded today, dropped down years ago. And a lot of people thought he was going first. And next thing you know, the Nashville Predators were able to snag him. So this is a really big get by Steve Yzerman and the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, you mentioned Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Connor Garland, the Canucks nab from the Yotes, and they give up the 9th pick in the draft. You talked about the Jones trade to the Blackhawks, in which the 12th pick in the draft was given up, and Jones got a huge contract. Considering John Davidson knew that Jones was a player that did not want to sign with Columbus, do you like the package that he got in return?
Absolutely. And they got 2 first-rounders in effect. So they bumped up in this draft. They flip-flop draft picks in this one. They get a second one next year, and I believe the third 2 seasons from now. And they get young Adam Boqvist, who was paired with Duncan Keith all season, who's a phenomenal young defenseman who Chicago was chomping at the bit, hands on, and to get up here and wear Blackhawks jersey. So now they lose him to Columbus. So Columbus has a great young player to develop, and who's already been very good in the National Hockey League. So, it's not like they just gave up Seth Jones. They got a lot in return. I thought that was a great haul. And because of the Oliver Ekman-Larsson haul and the big-time trade between Arizona and Vancouver, it made this accessible today. And a lot of times those dominoes, as they start to fall, it just creates a momentum for teams to make trades. But Chicago got a very, very good defenseman, and so did the Columbus Blue Jackets, a little bit younger, and he's going to develop. I remember seeing Seth Jones, the amount of development that he's had, and it's always looked like a great mature player. I've seen that in Boqvist as well.
And Jones will get a chance to play with his brother, Caleb. He's former NHL pro and CBS hockey analyst, Alan May. Alan, we appreciate the insight.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.